Hey fellow gamers and tech enthusiasts, welcome back to the channel. Today we're delving into the heart of gaming, and if you're a proud owner of a £5, you're going to want to pay close attention. We're talking about the best SSD for your £5 in 2024. Number 5, WD Black SN850X. The 1TB WD Black SN850X is a high-performance PCI 4.0 SSD. Although outperformed by the Platinum P41, performance is near the top of the heap in practically every category. The Platinum P41 did not have an RGB heatsink as an option. The support is excellent, but the high price and dubious Game Mode 2.0 limit it from being the best. The Black SN850X is compatible with WD's dashboard management software, which is included with the company's SSDs. This application can display information about the drive, including its health status, as well as tools and settings. The SN850X's new Game Mode 2.0 feature is very noteworthy. The old gaming mode could be toggled on and off from the dashboard, but Game Mode 2.0 adds an auto setting to detect game launches. You can also enter game folder locations manually so that the software knows where to look. The SN850's gaming mode functions by suppressing lower power states, resulting in a more responsive drive. Game Mode 2.0 has a three-pronged strategy: predictive loading, adaptive temperature management, and overhead balancing. Predictive loading is a method that detects anticipated low queue-depth sequential workloads, particularly read workloads, which are common in many games. Through smoother throttling, adaptive heat management improves average and sustained throughput. Finally, overhead balancing aims to enhance read latency when gaming by prioritizing I/O. The controller appears to be an improved version of the SN850's. It's still 8-channel, but it has faster flash and better firmware. WD firmware is generally outstanding, maybe best represented by the SN770. The SN850 also performed admirably in our Phison S/O Plus firmware preview, frequently outperforming the competition. The Game Mode 2.0 optimizations should improve the SN850X performance in this area. However, it's still too early to pass judgment on game compatibility. On this drive, WD has upgraded the best CS4 found on the SN850 by CS5. Number 4, Kingston Fury Renegade SSD. The Kingston Fury Renegade excels in all areas and is certainly one of the finest SSDs for £5. This is due to the fact that this model, which has a specific heatsink to ensure compatibility with a console, provides great sequential performance that we haven't seen from many other drives at this price point. The Kingston Fury Renegade SSD is one of the most consistent and quickest Gen 4 drives I've ever tested. This updated model, which includes a £5 compliant heatsink, outperforms the competition in every way. The Renegade provides good sequential performance at a low cost. The Kingston Fury Renegade SSD is an exceptionally well-built NVMe drive, as evidenced by the model's massive, sturdy heatsink. It has one of the greatest heatsinks I've seen on a Gen 4.0 drive, ranking alongside the superb Corsair MP600 Pro LPX and WD Black SN850 in terms of build quality. As much as I like the original's low-profile graphene heat spreader, the dedicated console-first heatsink here knocks it out of the water. Though it is unlikely that you will see the Kingston Fury Renegade SSD in action on the £5, the drive is visually appealing. If you've used any of the company's RAM kits in the past, you'll recognize the black and white angular branding on the front of this storage stick. The outstanding Phison E18 controller, which is best in class for Gen 4.0, powers the Kingston Fury Renegade SSD. With a high-end controller like this one, processing transfer speeds can be managed at a faster rate. This is combined with 2 GB of dedicated DRAM, 1 GB per TB of storage, which essentially works as the drive's short-term memory, making it faster overall than NVMe devices without DRAM, which are typically cheaper and slower. It's also paired with Micron 176 liters TLC NAND flash memory, which is a winning combo that we've seen in many popular NVMe drives like the Sabre Rocket 4 Plus and PNY XLR 8CS 3140. My former go-to within my £5 console and game and PC was the latter. The Kingston Fury Renegade SSD also includes a 5-year limited warranty and a projected endurance rating of 500 TBW, 500 GB, 1000 TBW, 1 TB, 2000 TBW, 2 TB. Number 3, Adata XPG GAMX S70 Blade. The Adata XPG GAMX S70 Blade is an excellent low-cost SSD for the £5. It is reasonably priced in comparison to its competitors and outperforms some of the flagship models in our assessment. During our tests, we discovered that this drive has a stunning sequential read speed of 6,000 384 megabytes slash. The Adata XPG Gamix S70 Blades build quality is where the lower price becomes most obvious. While adequate, the low-profile heatsink isn't as robust as what you'll get on higher-end models. The most critical component in any SSD for £5 is performance, and the Adata XPG Gamix S70 Blade is no wimp when it comes to speed. Some high-end titles such as Horizon, Forbidden West, and Death Stranding, Director's Cut, loaded faster on this £5 SSD than on the console's native storage. If you're on a limited budget, we believe the 1TB model is a hard bargain given how fast it is. The Adata XPG Gamix S70 Blade proves that low-cost £5 SSDs may outperform pricier options. Given the pricing, you can't ask for much more than outstanding sequential performance. The Adata XPG Gamix S70 Blade's design is where compromises were made. This is due to the SSD's exposed controller and flash memory modules. The £5 SSD heatsink is sold separately and has an adhesive coating that fuses to the plastic. This low-profile heatsink does not feel solid or durable, but it serves the job adequately when installed. The price of the drive also informs the controller selection. The Integrate IG5236 is used in the Adata XPG Gamix S70 Blade, which does not reach or exceed 7,000 megabytes slash like the popular Phison E18. This SSD, according to Adata, can reach read speeds of up to 6,300 megabytes slash within the £5 and maximum write rates of up to 6,800 megabytes slash. While it isn't as spectacular as the Kingston Fury Renegade or the Seagate Firacuda 530 on paper, it doesn't have to be. That's amazing, but the Adata XPG Gamix S70 Blade's file transfer and loading times are even more so. Number 2, Seagate Firacuda 530. In terms of the best SSDs for £5, the Seagate Firacuda 530 is a tough act to follow. It has a superb Phison E18 controller paired with 176-layer Micron TLC flash memory for performance that is hard to surpass, with read speeds of up to 7,300 megabytes slash. In our tests, we discovered that this top-performing drive attains sequential read rates of 6,539 megabytes slash, making it one of the fastest models available for the £5 at M2 port to this day. The Seagate Firacuda 530 was extremely pricey when it was released. While it is still expensive in the most expensive configurations, as are many Gen 4.0 drives, the cost of a new drive has dropped substantially over the years. As a result, the 1TB model costs roughly $129/£103.99 slash AU $239.99, while the 2TB model costs $239.99 slash £189 slash AU $414.78. What makes the Seagate Firacuda 530 stand out the most is its extremely high write endurance, a rough measure of how long an SSD should last with regular use. Expect roughly 1,275 TBW for 1TB and 2,550 TBW for 2TB, which is far greater than what you'll find on many £5 SSDs. When combined with the great provided heatsink, you have a winning combination. Number 1, Samsung 980 Pro. The Samsung 980 Pro is still a great £5 SSD. This is due in great part to its well-designed heatsink and solid write endurance. If you're looking for an NVMe storage drive that can withstand a lot of abuse, the thick aluminum chassis of this model is strong enough to withstand some pretty heavy workloads. Just don't throw it out a window or anything, as it probably won't end well. Samsung claims that the Samsung 980 Pro can achieve sequential read speeds of up to 7,000 megabytes slash, and our testing revealed that this model got very near, with 6,783 megabytes slash. That's more than enough for file transfers and puts this drive well beyond the £5 console's suggested 5,500 megabytes slash performance. The Samsung 980 Pro is the fastest SSD we've ever tested at TechRadar, without significantly increasing the price over rival Gen 4 SSDs. As a result, the 980 Pro is the SSD. In many ways, this is a true generational jump, and it's no surprise that SSDs like the Samsung 980 Pro are being employed in next-generation consoles. Sure, Gen 4 SSDs are a touch pricey right now, but the performance they provide is well worth it if you want that kind of bandwidth for your work. Furthermore, once the Xbox Series X and £5 reach a certain level of maturity, PC gaming will benefit from speedier S/O. For the time being, the Samsung 980 Pro is one of the best SSDs for the £5. The drive should also last a long time. Not only does it come with a 5-year guarantee, but the TBW terabytes written rating for the 500 gigabytes Samsung 980 Pro we received for evaluation is set to 300 TB. And that there concludes our top 5 best SSD for £5 in 2024 list. All product links are in the description, which is updated with the lowest prices. Subscribe to our channel for more videos. Until then, we'll see you in the next video.